All the ducks in a row. Hello, happy Monday. I apologize for the shitty lighting and the fact that we are all kicking it in my bedroom right now. But I have kidney stones. And we do what we got to do. We show up when we have to show up, and my goals and your goals are more important to me than kidney stones. So bear with me, and I hope that the lighting isn't too awful. But tonight I had something, well, not just me, Brittany and I have something big on our hearts. And I'm going to kind of start it and then pass it off to Britt to give her input on that subject. And then we are going to go into, if you have not watched on the team page the last couple of days, who missed the old lens of doing trainings every single day? Because, hey, I'm back. I don't know what hit me, but I woke up the other day and I was like, you gotta put your foot back on the gas, not half-ass, but where's Lynn's? And I don't know what, if it was postpartum or what, but I woke up the other day and I was like, I'm back. Y'all miss me? And I'm pretty sure I've done a training every day since then. And I've talked about Instagram, I've talked about branding. And so I want to end tonight talking a little bit about Facebook. And then I will do a more in-depth live on the team page also. I'm loving all of these goals popping into the chat right now. If you're just hopping on, please add into the chat. We have I'm not good at math. I think 4 days left. 4 days, 3 days. How many? 4 days? 4 days. I don't know. Y'all do fingers. I see this happening. So we're a team of number challenged individuals, except for Casey. She straight up went like this. So there's that. Everyone else is like this. So same. But we have 4 days left of the month. If you are not running, you're already behind. And I don't mean that in a rude way. And I'm going to tell you, and if you're new to the team, then you've probably been had like the mindset driven lens for the last couple of trainings, and you're going to get the more practical, like tough love lens, because I'm back. Hey guys. And I want to talk about leadership at all levels. I want to talk about your goals, and I want to talk about where you are, how you're going to get there, and why you aren't there. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular, okay? I am talking about, and I'm calling myself out also, okay? And my favorite thing to say, and I say it to myself often, is if I get offended or I feel like, wow, that sucks, it's probably because it's an insecurity of mine, or two, because I have that in my, your inner voice, your monologue that talks to you. You know what I'm talking about. Unless you're one of those that don't have it, then we don't relate, but it's okay. One of those things where it's something that's inside of you that's hitting you. So if something I say, you go, well, that's rude, or, ugh, why would she say that? Or, oh my gosh, she's talking about me. I promise I'm not, but if the shoe fits, because the shoe fits me in many, many ways. And you know what? It's like my bridesmaid's dress from this last weekend, traveling bridesmaid's dress. Everybody was a different size and they all looked great and chose the same dress, even though I told them all to pick different ones. They all love the same one. Traveling. It's a traveling shoe. If it fits, we're going to go with it. Okay. So I want to talk about leadership. And as I'm reading, and yes, I am reading all of these goals, all of these things that we want to accomplish in 4 days. And I want to ask you one thing to start it. Have you been working the last X amount we already discussed that numbers are hard. So the X amount of days, have you been working like this is your goal? I listened to a podcast, and I don't know how to say his last name in this recording, so I'm not going to try and butcher it because I love his podcast. His first name is Andy, and it was, M sent it to me, and I sent it to my leaders, and I sent it in my team page, and I said that if you don't like cussing and you get offended, avoid at all costs. But it was really good, and it was called 1,000 Days. So the reason I asked all of you guys to put it's, if somebody can write it, there we go, in the chat, his name with the podcast name, so that way anybody who is not in my chats can get it. Listen to this. Trust me when I tell you, I'm getting hot, and so I got to take my heating pad off, y'all. Y'all are getting real true raw up in here. I'm too fired up for this heating pad. Okay. If y'all have not listened to this, you need to. It had Rob in the kitchen going like this. Like, it related to so many levels of life. It talks about what you've done in the last 1,000 days. So I wanted to ask you guys what your goal is for the next 4 days, because something that everybody does, and I have been guilty of this many, many times, is we get to the end of the month and suddenly you want to get to work. Suddenly you want to run. Suddenly you want to do this. You want to do that, because now you're like, shoot, my tracker's 80% or my tracker's blank percent, whatever percentage it is. Maybe it's 0%. And you're like, I can do it in 4 days. But the thing of it is, why weren't you doing it the last 26 days? Did I get it right? 27 days. I don't know how many days there's been this month. Why weren't you doing it on day 1? Why are you waiting till day 27? When you think of why is it not happening for me? Why is this person rank advancing? Why is this person enrolling? Why is this person doing this? Why is this person doing that? Are you looking at what you have not done? Or are you just looking at what they are doing? Because there's a big disconnect there. If you are laser focused on what other people are doing, you're not laser focused on what you haven't done and how you can get started. It's not too late to get started. And I've said this before many times this month, but I know personally for myself, this is our team's largest month. And that to me is cuckoo bananas, if I'm being completely honest, like beyond crazy, because historically on our team, not just my downline, but our team in general, August, September, October, November, and December are our largest months. Y'all, when I say we haven't really hit momentum yet, and if you are a new person, I know I talked about this in my branding video, but if you are new, how like amazing you have it for the fact that you are joining during a time where momentum is about to kick off. We haven't even been in momentum and people's volume is crazy. And if you don't feel like your volume is crazy and you're sitting there like, why not me? Why not you? Leadership leaders show up, they don't tell. I'm going to say that again. And I listened, and if you've been listening to podcasts that I've been sharing, you've heard this. Leaders show, they don't tell. If you want a 4K team, stop saying it and start doing it. If you want a 12K team and you want that auto bonus, claim it and then do the work. Leaders show. They are on leaderboards. They are enrolling. They are showing up in their stories. They are showing up in their posts. Y'all, real question. Because I heard somebody say this, and I'm not calling anybody out because I honestly don't even remember who said this, but I heard somebody say this and I kind of scratched my head. And they said, if something's not on your heart, you don't have to show up today. Or if something's not on your heart, then you don't need a post. Or if something's not on your heart, like, don't do it because it needs to be on your heart. Okay. So I want you to switch your mentality for a second. And I want you to also switch it to this way, because this is your business, right? All of this is our business, right? We all want to succeed. We all own our own business. So I want you to think of it this way. Would you hire you or would you fire you with that mentality? Because if you went into your 9 to 5, or if you're in the medical career, your 12 to like 37,000 hours shift, if you went into your shift, no matter what it is, no matter where it is, and you told your boss or your manager or your whoever, and you said, you know, it's not on my heart to be here today. I'm going to just sit here and do me. But it's not on my heart. I'm not going to work today, but I'm going to collect that paycheck because I want it. And, you know, I need it. So I'm going to just sit here, but I really don't want to be here. So I'm not going to show up to work. Like but you can still pay me. Would you have a job? Probably not. So when you think and you allow yourself those excuses, and I'm going to call it how it is because y'all know me and I told you I'm back, feisty as all ever, maybe even a little bit more, is in your business, would you, if you had somebody, if this was like you had, because I've had assistants, I've had people that work a part of my LLC, right? And I fired people a part of my LLC. Why? Because they didn't work. If you aren't working, how do you expect your business to grow? How do you expect to be paid? Do you think just because you show up once every 7 days or when it's on your heart to show up, that that's how you build a paycheck? You build a residual income. You build a residual business. You build any business with behind the scenes, what's done behind the scenes. Because if you are doing something when it isn't on your heart, that is when it counts the most. And I don't mean it like, oh, fake it till you make it. No, I do not mean fake it till you make it, but I mean show up till you make it and then show up harder once you're there. Show up until you make it to where you want to be. And then once you're there, show up even harder to hit the next level. If you aren't showing up in all aspects, and I mean story, posts, anything, trainings, we have 96 people on here right now. And if you don't think during that a little bit of time when I had you guys writing your thing, I didn't look to see who was in here, that Britt doesn't look to see who's on here, that we don't pay attention to when people aren't on here, but when they're in our inboxes asking us questions, or they're in, which we don't mind, ask us everything. And I tell you all the time, you should feel annoying to your upline. You should feel like you're annoying to Britt and I. You're not, but you should feel like you are, because that's how much you message us. Trust us, that's good, okay? But if you don't think that we don't sit here and we don't look at stuff and we don't go, oh, so-and-so wasn't on, but she messaged me yesterday upset about her business. Do you think the two go hand in hand? Because the first thing I notice when a leader comes to me and they say, or not even a leader, but anybody comes to me and they say something, I immediately am like, they weren't on the trainings. If you want your team to show up, show up. If you want your team to enroll, get to work in enrolling. Your team is only going to follow what you do. There's a reason why Britt and I have such fast growing teams. There's a reason. If you look on the leaderboards right now, whether it be the company-wide one for the Thrive 2.0, or the $600,000 giveaway, car giveaway one, or this monthly leaderboard, Brittany and I don't say this to brag ever, because I don't do this, but Brittany and I are on them, all three of them. We've been on all three of them since the minute they came up. And that 2.0 company leaderboard has been there since like the beginning of the company, like since before not even the beginning of the company. I think it was when they launched 2.0, but that was before Brittany and I even joined. If you want to go far, you go together. And the only way you can go together is by teaching your team how to do it. And the only way you can teach your team how to do it is if you're doing it, right? Get on trainings. Show your face to your team. Show your face to your audience. Grow your brand and be present, because I'm telling you, it's the best thing you can do. And then one more thing I want to talk about, and then I was going to pass it to Britt, is I wrote notes because y'all, kidney stone pain, worse than labor, I swear on my life. But I had a really like nice labor. Rylan was good, but still worse than labor, swear on my life. So it's fine. Just sitting here. I wanted to talk about to our leaders on here, and everybody is a leader. So everybody on here, what I want to say is, if somebody comes to you and they say, hey, do a training, go live in the team page. Y'all, we have Limitless. And if any single person wants to go live, all you have to do is ask a 12K or above and be like, hey, I want to go live. Or text me, text Britt. Every single person in my downline has my phone number. I share it in the chats like crazy. Text me. Do I answer right away? Well, y'all, I have a 10-month-old and sometimes he clears things. But once I see them, I answer, right? Be like, hey, I need to talk about this. We'll admin you and you can go live. If you want to do it in Hustlin', ask any of the 40K and above. They will admin you and you go live. If we come to you and we say, hey, lead a training, because both Britt and I do with our 12, well, we don't do 12Ks and above on both Brittany's leg and my leg, do Tuesday night trainings at 9 p.m. Eastern, and they are always recorded so you won't miss anything. But if you are a 12K and above and we have come to you and we said, hey, do a training this month, and you said, ooh, I don't know, I'm not really good at that, or I'm kind of nervous, or whatever it may be, because trust me, we've heard it all. How do you expect your team to grow? How do you expect your team to build more leaders, to get out there, if you won't teach? Your biggest thing, and the biggest thing that I have ever done for myself was when we first started doing opportunity events. And that was what I sent people to learn about the products before I had my confidence in having conversations. Who remembers that? If you've ever spoken to me in the very beginning of my business and I literally sent you and tagged you in an opportunity video, probably a lot of you, because I didn't have the confidence and I was growing and I was showing up until I made it. And I'm still showing up because I still haven't made it, y'all. So to me, the biggest thing I needed to do was at least get one opportunity video down. So that way, when I was sending potentials videos, it was of my face and not of M's or not of Katie's, right? I was like, I need it of myself. I can do this. How amazing would it be for you to make an opportunity story about what you're going to teach your new girls, right? They want to join you. They want to learn from you. How amazing would it be to give somebody in their first 14 days, be like, hey, if you have people that have questions, this is an opportunity event I just did. Share this with them. Let them know that when they link arms with you, they're also linking arms with me. That speaks volume. That shows people. And even more than that, to get a little bit onto what we're going to talk about after Britt takes over in a second, Facebook loves lives. Go live. Facebook loves lives. It is so good to do. And think about it. If you're talking about the products, you could literally be in your pantry, like setting up trial packs and talking about them. You don't have to do your hair and makeup. I did a Zoom with a potential in my bed like this with my kidney stones saying like, y'all, but I'll show up for you even if I'm here. Who remembers when I was in labor? Who did I enroll on here when I was in labor? Because I enrolled 5 people during my 14-hour labor, y'all. See, Terry's right there going like this. Taylor going like this. Like you have to do it. And I'm not saying like drive yourself crazy or 10 out of 10 don't recommend, but they have to know that they can count on you. That even when you're uncomfortable, and I mean, kidney stones might take the cake, but here I am. Right? And I'm not saying on your, like when you're sick or on your deathbed to go live, but I'm saying is your team needs to trust that you'll show up for them at all levels. They have to believe in you. They have to know that you're there for them. And I don't know how much more Britt and I can prove that we're here for you guys. And we want you guys to prove it to your teams. But more importantly, we want you to prove it to yourself. I show up every single day, yes, for you guys, but also for me. Because the biggest person you're going to hold accountable is yourself. It's great to have accountability partners, right? It's great to have this. But at the end of the day, it's just words until you put actions behind it and prove it to yourself. Britt, I'm going to unmute you. There you go. Go for it.
So piggybacking off of that, just because I was telling Linz, like, I'm so into like mindset, and you guys know that about me. But at the end of the day, me stretching myself is teaching them more like practical, realistic areas. Because like Linz, I'm like, I can talk about mindset all dang day because it's the key, but the realistic things are like part of my everyday nature, like my life. Like this business isn't me fitting my business in, or this isn't me fitting into the business. This is my business fitting into me. And the thing about it is sometimes we operate, I cannot talk, as hobbyists versus business owners. And so I want to talk about this because the thing is, if you're operating as a hobbyist, you're probably getting paid as a hobbyist. But if you're also in your chapter 1 hustle, you can't get mad at that hobbyist income. You have to start realizing you're a business owner. We have literally 1099s. I have business taxes we have all the things. I'm a freaking business owner. So I show up as a business owner, and I see a lot of people being like wanting to be business owners, but operating in a hobbyist mindset or operating in a hobbyist action. And then they're like, well, my team's not working. This isn't happening. Well, you have to learn to lead yourself before you can lead your team. And the thing about it is monkey see, monkey do. My girls, if I had 20 of what I do on my team, and I have girls that are developing into this and growing into this and implementing, but they copy the work ethic of what I do, not the things, the work ethic. Because you can't have a 9-to-5 work ethic and expect to make not hobbyist income over here. This is a business, and it takes a certain level of commitment, awareness, and understanding what you're here for. And I get everyone has different visions, but the thing about it is, and this is something Linz and I have talked about as well, as you come in and let's say you started for your free product credit and you just wanted to start this business for your free product credit through personal development, through being around this community, through growth, and through just all the things, you start having a little bit more ambition and a little bit more vision. And through having a little bit more vision and ambition, you start raising your goals. Like you raise your thermostat, you raise your confidence, you raise all the things. But so much times we get stuck on the overthinking or the doubt, the inaction, not doing nothing, not showing. Like if you haven't listened to Jessie Lee's latest podcast on inconsistency is like the most dangerous thing to your life, you need to. Because the thing about it is there's a lot more talk than action. And you have to realize that it's about operating as the CEO. Would I hire you or fire you? I know a lot of people, if I was the CEO of a business, I probably wouldn't hire you based off a lot of talk and not a lot of action. And I love you guys, but the thing is, you have to have that awareness to your every single day. And it's not going to be always like motivational and just going through the motions. So for example, and Linz knows this and Em knows this, I had a freaking rough week, like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And you want to know why? It's because what happens when I get inactive in being creative or finding my joy and I start looking to the left or the right or trying to like focus on what I could have done better. For example, last month, Lindsay kind of helped me identify this the other day. I literally was 9,000 away from 200K. And most people would have, in different ranks, would have given up. You know, oh, I didn't hit that rank, I'm going to give up. Oh, I didn't hit that volume, I didn't hit that goal, I'm going to give up. Or I'm going to coast a little bit. Me, I did for the first 2 weeks. I kind of was in this like little moment of like imposter syndrome and growth and like, what do I need to do differently? What can I connect to more of myself? And you know what you do when you're in doubt or overthinking or in confidence or any of those things? You start action. When in doubt, action and out. And I started getting creative in areas that I wasn't stretching myself in. So for me, I hate talking on the phone. And if you know me, I don't talk on the phone. It is not my jam at all. I don't even talk to like my parents. I like FaceTime them and like don't call me until nighttime. But anyways, so for me, I'm having conversations and Zooms with potentials. I just signed a $400 pack while I was on here. And I don't say that to brag. I say that because I'm building friendships first. And maybe I'm having a hard day. I allow myself to develop myself, but I'm still putting forth the action. So if you hear me less, it's because I'm doing more. Does that make sense? So if you don't see me in the chats as much, or you don't see me doing all the like going out of my way and all the things, it's because I'm doing more by doing less. And what I mean by that is when you feel like you're in a growth phase or you're feeling like your business needs to grow or you're feeling like, oh, why aren't my girls working or all these people, whatever, it's you. You are always the key. You are always the answer. You. No one can. And I was telling Nick this because I was like, I have to refer to my husband as a way of like kind of understanding people's chapter ones, if that makes sense, because I've been doing this for 5 years. I didn't build my empire overnight. I built it through consistency and discipline and motivating myself every single day because my future was bigger than my excuses were. And so the thing about it is Nick's in that like beginning stage of entrepreneurship. He still has a full-time job. He hates it more than anything in the world. And he's so programmed because of how he was raised, because of how he believes his limitations, that a 40-hour work week and having a pension and having a retirement are the comfort zones for what you need to be stuck in. The thing is, I can't make him want that. I can't make him want that. I can't make him change. I can't make him do those things. I can lead myself. And by leading myself, it will help him be inspired. Now, his vision for what he's about to start doing, what he's going to start tapping into, the things that he's envisioned for himself are clicking on his own because of me just staying to my course. So my point of me rambling on this is if you have a team, stop trying to get them to work. You need to lead yourself first if you're growing a 4K, 12K, 40K team, and lead yourself and show up. How do me and Lindsay operate? She's freaking in bed on kidney stones, which I've had gallbladder stones, and those things like are no joke, and they hurt. I call them the kidney stones, I'm pretty sure, but whatever. So the thing is, that's painful. She could have been like, hey, Britt, take over tonight. I'm dying. She didn't. Some of you won't even show up consistently Monday through Wednesday on trainings. The thing is, like, you have to realize what you're doing and not doing, and no one can make that click for yourself except for you. Yes, like, and the thing is, I know this is like and I'm going to retract this word because I'm so sick of people saying tough love, tough love, tough love. There's no such thing as tough love. There's love. And that's what it comes down to. We love you enough to say the shit that most people won't say to you. And most people that you're trying to get advice from are usually the same people that are in the same circumstances. Birds of a feather flock together. I don't know how to talk, but we're going to go with it because it's true. Like, sometimes you got to realize who's your accountability partner in this business. Are they going through the same shit that you're usually going through, and you guys go to each other and vent all your problems to each other, and it's the same type of things? Maybe you need a different accountability partner. And there's nothing wrong with friendships, but you got to realize, where are you getting advice from? Where are you growing from? Where are you leading from? It's not about getting your team to work. It's about you working you and leading you, and monkey see, monkey do. My girls feel my energy. Lindsay, they feel Lindsay's energy. They know that we're committed to our business because we are the CEO of our lives. But the thing about it is, even when we weren't the CEO of our lives and we were in our chapter, whatever, and trying to become the CEO of our lives, we showed up as if we already were. So it's not faking it till you make it. It's acting like it, like you, walking it like you talk it. It's showing up as if you're already that person. It's operating as if you already had the things that you desired. It's committing to your business as if it was $1 million business already. I hear a lot of great, amazing goals, but goals are not anything until they become on paper and they become an action. It's just an idea. You have a lot of great ideas, so freaking make them happen. And no one can make that happen besides you. That is why I tell you, you are always the key. There is every single resource on this page. I've had girls that have been, and I'm just going to say this because it's not against compliance or anything like that. I've had girls that have left other teams, did their normal 6 months that they needed to do 6 months for in order to rejoin, joined our team and how we train and how we lead. And and few of them that have said that has said it is unmatched to what is out there. You have every single tool that we had. And those leader potentials that you're maybe like holding yourself back on, maybe you're really good at speaking and teaching and leading and whatever, and those are your strengths. Stop trying to not go live and share those with the team then. Stop trying to like hide your gifts. Those gifts are yours. So tap into them, not focusing on your weaknesses. Stop focusing on the weaknesses and focus on the strengths. Because if I were to get, I'm the hardest person on myself in my brain, like all the time. I talk shit to myself every damn day. And it's constantly a struggle. And it's constantly something I have to choose to speak life over myself. And it's become a habit on learning to reprogram my subconscious mind to speak life more than death. I call it death because at the end of the day, you're either gonna freaking change your life or you're gonna sit and struggle and sit and lack and sit and broke and sit and just being miserable with your life and not doing nothing about it. Which one are you? And so that's me. Go to Lynn's. I always do that too.
She's always like, okay, change my words. No, that was great. I love it. But there's a couple things that I do want to say is love, and I always say this, love people where they're at. Don't join where they're at, if that makes sense. You can love somebody and help them earn their free product credits and still be a 200K leader and still have 6-figure goals. If you don't have 6-figure goals and your goal is to thrive for free, that becomes my goal for you. That don't adapt your team's goals. And then one more thing that I want to talk about, and then we're going to switch to training side, and I want you guys to get pen and paper out to get ready because I'm going to share screen my personal Facebook with you and kind of do a walkthrough. I'm going to do basically an edit, and I'm sorry, my wedding planner is our wedding is getting published apparently, and she's like blowing up my phone right now, so I apologize that it's blowing up, but apparently going into the ocean in your wedding dress is like a huge like thing. Okay. Anyways, so I want to talk about your team. And if you have leaders, I want you to talk about your leaders. And all of my leaders in here right now know this because I have my own personal leadership chat, not to take away from 4K or 12K or anything like that, but just my personal leaders where I can ask questions, we can plan trainings, XYZ, right? So in my leadership chat, I asked all of them what their biggest goal was, what their biggest dream was. And you know what I did today with them? I created a dream board for my leaders in my office. Y'all, literally it is on my wall with their names and their goal. And you know why? Because when you join our team, and I'm going to do this with my overall team, and I just kind of like spilled the beans, so act surprised when I ask y'all tomorrow. But literally, I don't know if you guys can see this. That is my wall, and all of those pieces of paper are goals, are dreams. And you know why? Because when you join our team, your goals and your dreams become mine, and we work for them together. We do this together. And when I truly say I mean it, y'all, they're on my wall. I bought my own little cork board and made it for them on my wall. So when people come into my home, they see our team. They see our goals. They see our dreams. They see what they're working for. The ability to be able to ask your team that and truly write it down with them. I even asked M's on there. Her baby Henning is on my dream board. She's on there. Literally it says baby Henning. Because when you have a goal and you have a dream, it should be important to everybody, and it should be important to your leader. And I want to challenge everybody here, whether you have one person or you have yourself, I want you to create a dream board. Because the minute you start your own business, you should be dreaming. And if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. I can tell you that. I put ranks on there. I put Rob going 200K. I put us earning, I'm not making income claims and this is recording, and I'm trying to get so much better, y'all. Like, bear with me. I am a work in progress. But we put income stuff. We put things that we wanted to do around the house. We put things that were important to us, right? Things that were important to us as a team. Make it together. Yeah, Taylor, I put a rank for you. You didn't put a rank, but I put a rank. It's fine. It was my goal. See, you do things like this, and you need to have these moments. So I want to challenge everybody here, whether you have just yourself on your team or you have one person versus 4,000 people. I don't care. Make a dream board. Add others' dreams on there, because when you start working for a bigger picture than just yourself and more people are involved in it, if you don't have a team yet, ask your upline in your overall chat tomorrow. In my chat, I will be asking everybody theirs. Shoot, I can ask them tonight if y'all would like, depending on how long y'all want your messenger blown up tonight. We can just mute chat. It's fine. But we can do that and use people on the team. If you have an accountability partner, ask them, because when you can attach dreams to things, things become more important. Things become more reality. Things become things that you're working towards. Okay. So enough of like gushy. Let me go ahead and share my screen with y'all. Okay. So let's talk Facebook. I want to talk about if you have been on our team for a while, you know I built to 80K off of Facebook. I had less than 300 followers on Instagram. I didn't even know what the heck I was doing. I had never used a story. I didn't own a preset. It was tragic. It was very bad. It's fine. We moved on. We grew. We got better. But Facebook was my thing. That's how I grew my initial brand, and then I brought it over to Instagram. I'm currently learning more about Instagram, but I want to talk about Facebook, and I want to talk about how to do a Facebook makeover or a Facebook audit is what we're going to call it. Sorry, I have to sit myself up a little bit. A Facebook audit is what we're going to call it. Okay. So I want you guys to start at the very top. When I do a social media makeover on myself or a Facebook audit on myself or one of y'all, this is literally what I do. So I want you to write this down. So 1, you can do it with your team, and 2, you can do it with yourself. So once the minute you go on, I want you to look at your cover photo right here. Everyone can see this, right? We're good? Okay, cool. I want you to look at your cover photo. Is it clean? Is it clear? Is it crisp? Is it part of your fives? Ask yourself these things. If it isn't, start to look for something that looks better here. If your head is chopped off, if something, and a fun tip for this is if you click update cover photo, you can reposition and you can move it so it fits better, okay? So that's a fun little tip that you can fit a picture there, because if you upload it from your phone, it's going to look different on your phone than it does here. So it might fit on your phone, but when I put this on my phone, Rob's head was chopped off. It was tragic, you know. He just decapitated in the water. It's fine. So you can move it and reposition it. Another tip is if you don't have a lot of pictures and you're like, you know what, I'm not loving the vibe of that, go on to Pinterest and search. Like, I wouldn't necessarily do a quote personally. Again, it's if it's part of your brand. I know a couple of my girls, part of their brand are Bible verses and stuff like that. I 100% could see that right here. 100%. Hold on, let me add the chat option back up. So that way I'm not missing anything. Is the chat option covering anything? Do you guys see the chat, or am I good? Britt, I can only really see you. This? Good? Okay, sorry. I added the chat option back up on my side. I don't really understand things. I don't know what you can see versus not see, so bear with me. So no, but you have it pop up on your screen. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, cool. I'm going to wait to do the chat option until after, because otherwise I'll get scroll syndrome. So you can add your Bible verse here. You can add, I think M has just like a pretty like background. I think it might be like a cheetah print. I don't know. Something that has to do with like her coloring of her presets at the moment, like her color scheme. She has that there. Perfect. Just make it something that is pretty social media is what we call it. Okay, next, your profile picture. Please, 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 please have it you, where they can see your face. And the reason I say that is you get this little circle icon, and it's the same thing of what I was talking about on Instagram. This is your icon. This is your badge. When they see your stories, when they see you on Messenger, they see this. Okay, so make sure they can see your face. Make sure it's you. Make sure it's a clear, like a pure, meaning like not like foggy, you know what I mean, like really clear and crisp and stuff like that. A picture, like a good one, and put it there. A tip for these pictures, I change mine almost once a month, and the reason I do that, which is different from Instagram, if you watched my Instagram training, the reason I do that is because when you change these pictures, it pops up immediately and it pushes it to everybody's news feed. Okay, so once a month, I will change this and I will change this. So my cover photo and my profile picture. I highly recommend, if you haven't changed it in a while, do it, because it's going to push you to people's news feeds. Okay, even if it isn't a post about you, right? Because obviously you're not writing like a long like business caption or product caption, right? But they'll see it, and the chances of them clicking on your profile are very high, right? So I recommend changing those. Next thing I want to talk about is your bio. The biggest thing that I learn when I go to do audits or makeovers for people is they don't have one. There is no bio right here. My biggest thing, and I talked about it on the Instagram training, was who, what, and why, right? If you can explain those things in a minute or less, what would your keywords be about your brand and what you're doing? Something short and sweet. This is literally I think it's almost identical to my Instagram one. But something short and sweet, catchy. I don't personally put like network marketing in there. I don't personally put my link in there. I don't personally do those things, because for me, I like, if I want to try a product or something like that, I like to know that if people are adding me or I'm going to be friends with them on social media, that they're not going to try and like jam their products or jam their company down my throat, right? We kind of don't like the whole spammy idea. So I do my best to try and just not have that there. But I do have that I work that I work with Lavelle, 200K. So next thing I do is your details. I keep my details pretty simple. I just have Lavelle, where I live, and now my husband. Literally very, very simple. You can have whatever you want there. There's no right or wrong thing. The only thing that I suggest is when you have all of your past employments on here, when you have them all listed, it brings it down to where then your feature photos are pushed all the way down here. So it makes it a little bit harder. And when you are on your phone, they have to swipe and keep swiping to get to your first featured photos. So I like to keep it to those 3 things personally. If you want to add your hometown or you want to add another job, say that Lavelle isn't your only job and you want to add what you actually, your 9 to 5. Perfect. But I would avoid having like your whole chicken noodle soup like background there, if that makes sense, y'all. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is featured photos. Hold on, let me make sure that nobody has, well, I can't really get to the chat, can I? Oh, I found it. We're getting better, y'all. Yes, your Insta is the same. Thank you. See, I don't know these things. Should you update it early in the day or at night? I don't think that matters because it pushes it, and the way the Facebook algorithm works is different than Instagram algorithm. You could literally go, if you changed it tonight. Oh, I'm frozen. Shit. Sorry, y'all. We went through a storm. I apologize. I'm back. It says unstable. I apologize. It always does this in Florida. It rains, it does it. So what's it called? It does it to where it will push it. So if you change it tonight, right? Tomorrow morning, you personally can go like it or love it, and it will re-push it to the wall, or you can comment back to people tomorrow morning and it'll re-push it to your wall. So really that doesn't matter, because if you've done IPAs with me before, you know that I go through once a week and comment on old posts, right? You go and you comment on older things to re-push them. Today I went through and I tagged myself in pictures that I had posted through the month, so it re-pushed those to the news feed, stuff like that. Okay, I think I got all those questions. So now let's move to featured photos, right? These, I highly recommend having either 3, 6, or the full 9, or just 1. So 1, 3, 6, or 9. The reason I say that is because if you only have 4, I just tried to go like this on my screen as if y'all would see my hand covering the pictures. It's fine. I'm doing great over here. If you only have 4, these ones, so this one on my hand all the way through Rylan up in the air, would not be there. And that would just kind of look awkward, right? You would have a line of 3 and then 1 like lone soldier down there. So I suggest having 1, 3, 6, or 9. And these are your 5. These are of your 5s. So for me, and I do throw obviously Lavelle in there. Like I have this picture with Rylan and I, but Rylan's part of my 5s. And then the products are on the side. So I throw them in there every now and then. Home decor and my house is one of my 5s. So that's why me sitting on this counter with a Thrive cup is one of them. Obviously my family is a 5s. My relationship is part of my 5s. And then I did this as a like filler pick, but I did it because it also shows the flooring, and I'm very big on showing my like the house and like the home decor, and then the dogs, and then of course Rylan. So you can tell a little bit about my story within these 9 pictures. That, and they're clear, they're there, they all have the same preset, they all have the same kind of tone on them, and it just kind of blends is what we call it. The next thing I want to talk about that people forget about on their Facebook is the photos they are tagged in. The reason I say this is because it counts kind of like a second featured photo, like featured section. So today I went through because I had not updated them since Katie and Britt were visiting me. When did you guys visit me? In the end of May, beginning of June. So I had not updated my tagged in photos. So what I did tonight on my phone is I went through on posts. So like, hold on, I'll show y'all what I did. Gotta find one. So like this picture, what I did is I did tag photo, and I literally tagged myself. I'm already tagged in it, so it won't let me re-tag myself. But I literally tagged myself and then hit done tagging, and now it popped up right here. Do you see what I mean? But not only did it pop up right there, this entire caption, this entire photo re-auto-populated to my news feed, meaning people who see my post, people who comment on my stuff, people who watch my Facebook are now re-seeing my photo and my post from yesterday. So you will allow your post to rework for you. So yes, commenting underneath them will also repush them, but tagging yourself in the actual photo will repush them also. So I went through on these posts and I just re-tagged myself in some of them. The ones that I wanted up here to show a little bit about me is I re-tagged. So again, I did me, I did our wedding, I did our family, I did Rylan, stuff like that. And I made sure that the captions on those were ones that were like, you know what, this could do another round and do good for me type of thing. As well as commenting back to people underneath them. It's a way to kind of, since we're getting towards the end of the month, I do that normally with the posts that I made at the beginning of the month, you know, that first of the month fire that you have. I do that on a lot of those because it then repushes that fire and like you can kind of like double bring it. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's storming bad. How do you get featured photos? Okay, great question. So if you are on your phone, where's my phone? Oh, it's right here. Sorry, the bed ate it. Does y'all's bed eat phones? Because mine does. You're gonna go to your Facebook, and I can show you online also on the website. But if you're on your phone, you're gonna go to your profile. So you're on your profile and you're going to do, there's a section right there underneath your info, and it will literally give you an option to add featured or edit featured, stuff like that. If you already have a picture there, just click one of the pictures and it'll pop up that says edit featured. You can then go in and change all of those and move them around and do all of that. On this, you just click right here where it says edit featured and it'll pop up. You see? Then you just save it and it's good to go. And it will even pop up with some of the pictures that you've already posted on Facebook. It'll give you an option to pull from your camera roll, stuff like that. How do you update it if you haven't been tagged in years? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Ask that again in a way that I can understand it. Because y'all know me. I need like spelled out. At least y'all can appreciate it, right? What are your thoughts about quotes and featured photos? If they're a part of your fives, 1000%, but make sure they can still see your face as it, because my biggest thing is people will put a whole bunch of Pinterest ones that are like all different colors, all different fonts, and you look at it and you're like, what am I looking at? So if you are going to take a quote, I would highly recommend, because I used to have quotes on mine, like I think these photos right here, like the inner ones, I had like I'm very big on words. Like I have Limitless in my house before we even created the Limitless page. I have that in my house. It's now in my office. Like I've had that for years. I love words, like just words that have amazing meanings behind them and that just kind of touch you. So I had those like right here. But what I did is I went on Word Swag and I recreated it so it all had the same background and it all had the same text and the same color. So 100%, as long as it's within your fives, I say go for it. Just make sure that it matches, if that makes sense. So like for me, I like a crisp white background. I really like script. So mine was like a crisp white square, and then the middle was script cursive writing in black. So something like that. Update your tagged photos. You can go into your tagged photos of what's being shown right here, and you can hide from timeline. So let's do this one. You see right here's how it says from Alexis, how it says allow on timeline. You can just hit hidden on from timeline and it'll take it away from right here. So you can clean up the pictures that you are tagged in that are shown there, or you can just go in and tag yourself in your own pictures of posts you've made so it refills this area and it looks different. Another tip that I'm going to tell you guys to do is to turn on your request for tagged posts and pictures, meaning they won't get pushed to your wall or to right here, you have to literally go see 500. Oh, wow. 571 items for you to review. I apologize if any of y'all are in there. I will review those as soon as I can. I don't know when, but as soon as I can. I try and review any like rank advancements and stuff. Once I get the notification, I try and push it. Sometimes I miss a couple. I apologize. It's not on purpose. As you can clearly see, I had no idea I had that many. Anyways, you can see them right here then when you have the request, and they will also pop up in your notifications so you can add them to your timeline right then and there. Y'all, I am a mess. Okay. Can you not use different fonts for your Facebook bio like you can Instagram? Fun tip for the night. These are great questions, y'all. Keep them coming. And this is recorded, so I know we'll probably go a little bit past 10 o'clock. Don't worry. I will have it on my YouTube and on the team pages. So don't worry if you have to go. I know we're running a little behind. So there's an app in, was it Chris? No, Christina Tammy. Sorry, Taylor, almost gave you Christina's spotlight there for a second. She told me about an app called Fonts. If you look in the App Store and you just type in Fonts, I can show you what it looks like. It literally looks like that white with the A's. You see that? Fonts. Click that and download it and add it to your keyboard on your iPhone. And then you can use those different fonts to write on your stories, to write in your bio. It's recognized now, so they're working. I've had a couple people ask me how I got fun letters on my Instagram story, and they're like, what app are you using? And I'm like, y'all should know me well enough that I do not use third-party apps to like go all over the place, because I can't even remember to check my reviewed items on Facebook. Like, let's be real. So Simple is my middle name. Well, it is Reed, but now I'm going by Coggin, so we got this. Okay, let's see. Next one. Can you not use different fonts? Oh, I just answered that. Download the keyboard. Oh, y'all already answered this. I just need to keep reading. Sorry. Should you untag yourself from photos others have tagged you in? Only if you don't want them shown on your page. Or what you can do is you can just hide them. If you hide them from your timeline, you're still tagged in the post, still tagged in the picture. It's just not showing up on your storefront. Remember, we call your Facebook this right here, and your Instagram, oh, sorry y'all, and your Instagram, we call that your storefront. Hold on, I need to get a drink of water. Sorry y'all. Okay. We call that your storefront. So what that means is it's like your magazine cover. It's what you're showing out. So a brand new person looks at your page, what they're going to see. The reason I say to hide stuff that don't match with your fives or your business, not to untag you or to remove you from family or friends posts, but it's so that way when somebody looks at your one like a one glance look, like we'll call it your first impression, they get a really good idea about what you're doing. They get a really good idea about your brand. They get a really good idea of you, so they can say, oh, you know what? Yes, let's be this girl's friend. Or, oh, I want to see more of her posts. Or, oh, what does she do? Let me message her, type of thing. Instead of it being filled with memes or videos that you're tagged in, or like family barbecue stuff with your great Aunt Betsy, stuff like that. Don't remove those, because that's still you, but you can remove them from seeing right here and they'll still show up in your news feed. This is just your storefront. We're just kind of cleaning that up to make it a great first impression, if you want to say that. Oh. Thanks, Sam. So Sam is the reason why we have 571. She just went through and tagged herself in the pictures I've posted of her. So really, I'm not doing that bad. Thank you. Right. I'm busy. Right. You get it. You're busy. Okay. Can you give some general tips on just getting your Facebook started? I'm super involved on Instagram, but can't figure out Facebook to the full extent. The last time I had one was over 10 years ago in high school, and it's so different. Everything I just said tonight, put into action. It'll be like by the end of tonight, you'll have your cover photo, your profile picture, your bio. You'll have this set up. You'll have your featured. Get that set up and then start posting. Whatever you would post on your Instagram, you're then going to copy and paste it. You're not going to link them. Remember, we don't link them because it messes with the algorithm. But you are going to copy and paste and post them. So it's two birds, one stone, but now at least you have a storefront look on your Facebook. Did that help kind of answer your guys' question on those? I think I got all of them. If I missed anybody, please let me know. I'm going to stop sharing so that way y'all don't have to look at my Facebook anymore. But do we have any questions on Facebook on how to create that, on how to do that kind of audit, or do we think we're good? I can go into more depth about interacting and stuff like that on a Facebook Live for branding. I can do, if you guys would like that, I can do a branding how I did on Instagram. I can do one for Facebook. Is that something you guys would like? Yeah, I'm seeing head shaking. So I'm okay. So I can set that up. I'll just take some notes because I need to write stuff down for that. But I can set up a branding one for Facebook on the team page, similar to Instagram, so that way when you have new people, or if you want to go on there, and somebody's saying, hey, I'm struggling with Instagram, you can tag them in my Instagram one. And then if somebody says I'm struggling with branding, you can tag them in the overall branding one. And if someone says they're struggling with Facebook, you can send them this YouTube or this video, and you can tag them in my branding Facebook. I'll make sure to label it that so that way you guys can find it on the team page. So I'm not seeing any more questions. So I won't keep y'all too much longer. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Britt, is there anything that you wanted to add? Are you good? Okay. Good. Okay. Let's remember we have 4 days, y'all. July is not over. How you end, and I say this every single time. The reason why I'm saying this even with 4 days left is because our first August Monday won't be until the 3rd. And y'all, when I say on the 1st, Brittany and I are going to be launching some amazing things. We Zoomed last night. Last night. Sorry, all my days are mushing together like crazy. We Zoomed last night, and when I say we planned out the entire August, every single week, every single weekend, there's going to be a giveaway. There's going to be a promo. There's going to be something for you guys, versus whether it's a training of like a practical training like I've been doing because, hey, I'm back, or a more mindset driven podcast. We have, a couple really, really good. If you have been paying attention to the podcast people that we have been sharing, it's probably because they're going to make a guest appearance on our Zooms in August. So I would pay attention to some of their Zooms, because we've been making relationships and connections. And I want you guys to really know that we have August set up for the momentum that it's going to be. So how you end this month running is how you are going to run into August. And when I tell you, we are not going to be, if you've heard my analogy of we're not waiting to put our shoes on, and if you gotta wait to lace up, dad can take you to the park because I'm running, like we gotta go. If you've heard my analogy saying that before, I truly mean it. These next couple months are going to be pretty dang insane, as far as I'm sure the company has plans that we don't know about because they always do, but Brittany and I have some really, really fun plans and ideas and things that we are going to put into play. So if you are in our downlines, make sure you're in Limitless. Trust me, because we are going to be using that to post a lot of stuff for August, and you want to make sure that your notifications are on for that. So just a little teaser, because we're gonna make our first one on the 1st, like just a little hint drop, so make sure that you're in there and all of that stuff. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Let's end July running into August. Bye guys.